Testing the audio real quick. I think we're good to go. Okay. So I just wanted to make a quick update video on just Bitcoin and my thoughts on it because I didn't really feel like typing a whole essay on Twitter. So, as we all know, and if you've watched my previous streams, we had a Model 1 distribution at a very important market structure high. So it was the high from this local downwards trend where you had lower highs and lower lows. You wicked it here, and then we had this massive move down to follow. Okay, let's make it red for now. So the first signs of real strength comes from breaking this high. And we talked about that domino effect, that this was the main important high. So breaking this high equals price coming up towards that high. And then we have to break that high in order to see higher prices. Okay? So we failed to break that high, and we didn't only fail to break that high, we failed while creating a Model 1 distribution, which is a classic setup. I also told you that if we start breaking market structure in here and we have a redistribution, that's 100% short setup with 100% win rate. From my statistics, if we start breaking this and you have that redistribution effect where you have the Wyckoff distribution, either a Model 1 or Model 2, just a redistribution in general, that's 100% setup. Okay? Well, what developed since we talked about that distribution? I also told you guys that yesterday, right here, the distribution did not have immediate follow through because we had our range low right here, and then we had the sweep of the range low, indicating that a accumulation could also be in play, because you should know that distributions can go over into accumulations, and that's a very reoccurring thing. And then we came up, tapped into that supply zone right here, and then we put in a higher low for a higher high, kind of looking like a Model 2 accumulation. However, price, instead of this Model 2 having any follow through, we just swept sell side or buy side liquidity, and then we started breaking structure. So I told you I wasn't really sure which side the market maker wanted Bitcoin to go within this range, but in the night when we were sleeping, price started breaking down. But I told you guys as well that we had this support zone. There's range demand here. Like this, we had that range demand which we tapped into, and from a range trading perspective, this is not a break yet. This price action right here, it's not a proper break from this whole range right here. Oh, let's make that better. So this range right here, this tiny piece of price action, it's not a break from this range. If we start losing this demand zone right here, this green range demand, that's when we can call it a proper range break. Okay? So what are the different possibilities that can happen now after this happened, what just occurred? Well, first of all, we can easily, we swept the low here, so our market structure high, locally speaking, is right there. What can happen is we had this distribution. It didn't really have any follow through. It kind of turned into, like, maybe you want to call this like a PO3, where this is your, let's get rid of this supply zone for now. Maybe it turns into like a PO3, where this is your range right here. This is just some manipulation below the range low, manipulation of retail positions, and then we're gonna have our expansion away, right? And I expect that expansion away to actually go higher. I don't think you SFP this high and then continue all the way down. So just have that expansion away. Something like this could happen from here, where we start breaking back inside, break that market structure, and you can find the entry on the reconfirmation of the retest. Okay? That's an idea one. That's possibility one. Possibility two is that the market maker wants price to come down. However, we missed a very important supply zone on this move up, which is this 2-hour supply zone, which is the whole buy to sell, grabbing all the liquidity on the left here. So all these highs right here were grabbed on this buy to sell. Clearly, sellers and market makers stepped in here and pushed price down. And on this move up, yes, we grabbed all buy side liquidity, but we missed the supply zone. And you should know that Model 1 distributions can go over in Model 2 distributions. So what could happen if we follow market structure and look at it from a Model 2 perspective, price was coming up, coming down, coming up. We could have a break here because it is a market structure break, but we have a range and it's not a range break. But price could come up and then come back down, mitigating that supply zone. So that was the reason why price had to come up. You know, the market maker did not have enough strength yet to push it all the way down to fill this imbalancy. And we can come up and hit that supply zone, get our short confirmations in here, and then we continue going down. That's option 2, okay? And only local market structure will tell us what's going to play out. So if we start breaking this high, you can always get a long on the retest with a reconfirmation, okay? That's always possible. But when should you hedge a short or maybe take profit and switch to a full-on short position is when you break the market structure in this up leg. So the market structure between this low and this high, yeah, if we get the retest, otherwise it's just this low and that high. If the market structure in this leg, yeah, in this move up, starts breaking bearishly, after mitigating this supply zone, that's when you know, okay, you know what? We can short. And potentially this Model 2 idea is going to play out. If we don't break any market structure and price just keeps on trending up, then there's no reason to short. As I previously said in other streams, within this supply zone right here, I expect a tap and go. What do I mean with that? I mean, within the supply zone, if we zoom in, there is a buy to sell, and this is just inefficiency, and you have liquidity above. Meaning, when we have inefficiency and liquidity in a range supply, if it does not tap and go, so just have a tap and then we reject from it immediately, and we start creating market structure within, most likely we will fill the imbalance on the left and grab all liquidity. Okay? And I don't expect an SFP of this main high, so in that case I just expect to go higher. So really, if we do not see something like this where we come up like this, bye-bye. If we do not come up like this and tap it and break market structure, where this is the tap, then I think we're just going to squeeze through the supply zone pretty easily. So the local market structure will tell us if either this PO3 is going to play out or this Model 2 is going to play out, right? Then we still have some other options. What if we dump down from here? So what if we don't come up and we just dump down? Well, if we start breaking this low, there are two more support levels that we can bounce from locally speaking. We have a 45-minute order block with imbalance, which looks really nice. It's this green one. Let's make it green. And then below that one, we have this 15-minute demand zone with some inducement above it, some nice liquidity right here. However, if you come here, this idea is nicer. This 45-minute idea is nicer. I don't think if you come here and you smash through that 45-minute order block that this is going to hold price up for long, maybe like a potential bounce and then dump. But here you can get something nice. And you guys should know that the PO3, so that range manipulation expansion idea, is only valid if we have a Wyckoff at the bottom. And so far, we could be creating a nice little Wyckoff schematic. Gotta pay attention now. So we have our range low. We have our sweep of the range low, putting in equal lows. So 100% trade setup would be coming down, creating a market structure leg, sweeping the low. I would like a nice little sell to buy effect, tapping that 45 minute demand, mitigating or breaking internal market structure from the top down back to bullish, and then finding a entry on the retest following maybe like the internal market structure pull from the low up, meaning I will find a long on the retest and put my stop loss if it's a V-shaped recovery underneath an internal low. So the internal low is the market structure between this point and that point. If that looks like this, after breaking that more important high, then I will find a long like this and the mitigation, put my stop below the low. Okay? That's an idea that I'm watching. Let me put an alert there. Oh, there's already an alert. Okay. Let me pull it a bit higher. That's definitely an idea that I'm watching. Also, so I can hedge a bit of my massive short positions on the altcoins in case I see the bullish confirmations. Because if this is going to pump and that PO3 is going to play out, the altcoins will most likely also go up. Then, if we surpass this these two support levels, these two demand zones, most likely I think there's like 100% chance we're gonna fill this imbalance on the left. And from a market structure perspective, at that point in time, you'll have an SFP of your market structure high, followed by an actual good break that has a distribution. So from a market structure perspective, this would probably just give a bounce for a lower high and a lower low, right? Especially because these lows right here have loads and loads of sell side liquidity, and they're very bad lows. Why are they bad lows? You come down and then you grind up like this. That's not a good low. You want a good low to take out the initial low. So this will be the initial low, and a good low will take it out, and then we'll start moving up. Okay? So the low is bad. So from just looking at market structure, this low failed out to take that high. It breaks market structure back to bearish. So this low is a targeted low, and we could rotate all the way back down. However, we have a massive Wyckoff Model 1 distribution going on the chart, where this is your massive range that we're in, okay? And it started with this low and that high, and you had a sweep of the low, so 01. This whole Model 1 accumulation that we traded literally perfectly is its own little second tap, and then this is the third tap. And that's an ugly drawing. This is the third tap. Okay? Let's make that a bit nicer. Let's keep it like dots. Okay. The 1, the 2, and the 3. Okay? Well, what do we know of Wyckoff Model 1s? They can have a retest, which can just be the test or the LPS. And I posted on Twitter here. You can see the picture where this is the standard Model 1 accumulation schematic, where you have the SC, the ST, and the spring, which is just your initial range low and the first sweep and the second sweep. So the SC is your initial range low, the first sweep, and the second sweep. And then we have the test, right? Test and LPS, they're subjective. You can call it a test, you can call it an LPS. Doesn't really matter, okay? But it can put in a test right here. And what's typical for a test is that it's pretty awkward, because sometimes you don't even break market structure after having the spring, and then you just come down again, and many people expect a lower low, and then it just puts in a higher low and it pumps from there. So that's pretty typical for a test to be awkward to trade. And this would be like that area where it's pretty awkward to trade. Also, if we just look at the volume area, we would lose this volume area low, which we're losing as we speak. So many people would, I think, if we come down here, already be turning very bearish, talking about this low that needs to go. And then we just have the test effect right here for the test of the bigger Model 1. And if you get, like, I would say like a 1 hour market structure change in here, a 1 to 2 hour market structure change after tapping this green demand, you can literally target the all-time high. You'll probably squeeze up, like this move up will be pretty fucking easy. You will get a rejection from this supply and the volume area high just to range, accumulate, and then hit the target. And then from there we can distribute and continue ranging until we break out to one side. Okay? But the massive Wyckoff Model 1 kind of invalidates that if we start breaking these demand zones, that we have to come down to this low. And again, how do we know if the Model 1 idea is going to play out, or this is the test, or that we're going towards that low? Local market structure will tell us. If we have a good 30 minutes to 2 hour market structure change in here, most likely, and we're leaving loads of buy side liquidity, most likely the test is going to take place. And even if you're wrong from a macro trading idea, we're gonna find our entry using the 2 to 3 minute time frame, right? Using the very low time frame, finding those scalp entries where you can put your stop loss to break even pretty soon, and then even if you're wrong, you can still make money or at least not lose money, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. We have the scenario of this being a PO3 or the scenario of this being a bigger Model 2. Local market structure will tell us. If we dump down from here, we can get a local or a macro test here for a higher low and a higher high. If we don't get any bullish signs hitting this demand zone, we're going to take all this sell side liquidity and take out the low. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Really, this is the opposite of a prediction. I cannot predict the Bitcoin price at the moment. We don't predict, we react, right? I just laid out all the possible scenarios that I'm looking at, and I will trade the local time frames, finding my scalp entries, and then one of the trades will be a runner, right? Taking profits along the way. So that's a bit what I'm looking at. I'm still massively short on Solana and Matic. Took some tiny profits here on Matic because it's the Val. If we start losing this volume area low, I expect a fast move down. A very fast move down. And on Solana, we are coming down within this range right here. And we were just trying to get acceptance back inside the volume area as well. Look at that. That's perfect. That's perfect right here. So I have a take profit set at this 4-hour order block with imbalance, backed by the POC. That's the take profit for me. And then I have a take profit at the low. And I'm not taking any profits in between. Okay? So that's kind of my trading plan. I hope you guys have a good trading day. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys tonight in the post-trading analysis video. Peace.